Today, we are looking at three superstars who realized that copyright law is not designed for a world where your identity can be cloned in a moment. So they got creative. They started hacking the legal system, using contracts, trademarks, and sound marks to push back against the AI juggernaut. So what does that mean for the rest of us? Well, stick around. Let's start with Keanu, since he's the one who's been fighting this fight for the longest. Long before Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, long before any of us would have heard the word deepfake, Keanu Reeves noticed something that genuinely disturbed him. In one of his early movies, one of the editors added a single tear on his face in post-production. They did this without asking, no permission, just added a tear. And Keanu didn't think, oh, that's really cool technology. What he said was, and I'm paraphrasing a bit here, it was like I didn't even need to be there. Think about that for a second. An actor shows up. They make choices, micro-expressions, movement, physicality, timing, and then someone in a dark room months later goes in and just changes it. And now the actor is expressing things that they never initially expressed. Keanu saw where this was headed long before the rest of us. So he did something kind of radical. He started adding a clause to every single film contract stating that his likeness in the film, his performances, could not be digitally manipulated without his express permission. This was not a buy your leave or try to respect the artist sort of thing. This was a binding contract that said, you do not touch my performance. Now, here's why that goes beyond Hollywood. Keanu understood that when an actor performs, they are participating in the edit through their choices. Every expression, pause, glance, those are creative decisions. Deepfakes and AI manipulation strip away that entire human point of view. In any medium. The idea for an actor like him would be that it takes the human performance and strips away the humanity, making it material to feed the machine. And one of the really cool things about this is his response wasn't to complain about the technology. It was to fight it at the infrastructure level. He went to the contract itself. Before the technology even caught up, Keanu had built an entire legal wall around himself to protect himself and his work. So first, use the contract. Now, let's cross the pond to the UK, where things get weirder. For those not in the know, Jeremy Clarkson is a former Top Gear and Grand Tour presenter, as well as the star of the reality show sensation Clarkson's Farm. You may have also seen him online pushing the latest crypto scheme, or pushing a sketchy mortgage, or promoting an investment opportunity that just sounds too good to be true. And none of them are him. It's all AI. Made with highly convincing voice clones and AI-generated video, and it's all being used to scam people out of their savings. So Clarkson did what any normal human would do at this point. He lawyered up. And his lawyer actually told him something that was really unsettling. UK copyright law doesn't protect your face or your voice. Essentially, you cannot copyright your likeness in the UK. Clarkson, never being one to back down from a challenge, took a radically different approach. He ended up going and trademarking his own face. And yes, you heard me right. He registered his own face as a trademark. Now, let me explain why this is so brilliant, and it really was brilliant legal gymnastics here. Trademark law isn't about the artist. It's actually about the consumer and making sure that consumers are not being misled about what they are buying or the source of the product. I'll use the Nike Swish as an example. When you see that, you know what you're getting, you know who you're getting it from, and nobody else is allowed to use that to try and sell you something. That would be considered misleading. By making his face a registered trademark, Clarkson actually turned every AI-generated deepfake ad using his likeness into a federal trademark violation. Not a maybe this is wrong sort of thing. This is a clear, enforceable violation that forces platforms to take down the content, because if they don't, they are liable too. He didn't wait for new laws. He used the laws that already existed and bent them to fit his problem, which, if you don't know, is very Clarkson. So, pattern number 2, use the trademark. Which brings us to Taylor Swift. And if Keanu built a wall around himself and Jeremy Clarkson found a loophole, Swift built an entire automated defense system. Now, I'm sure everyone knows who Taylor Swift is, but you may not know that she is one of the most high-profile targets for non-consensual and explicit deepfakes on the internet. Because of this, Swift's team realized something important. Waiting for laws wasn't going to work. America's had the No Fakes Act, an act that is supposed to protect somebody's digital likeness, pending for years. Meanwhile, fake Taylor Swift content spreads across the web like wildfire. Clever as they are, Swift's team made groundbreaking trademark applications, but they didn't trademark her name or her face or her logo. They trademarked short audio clips like, "Hi, it's Taylor," or "Hey, it's me, Taylor," and specific images like iconic Eras Tour outfits. But why trademark a voice clip? It's actually kind of brilliant. You see, the big tech platforms, think like Amazon, Google, Meta, they all have automated content moderation systems. So when you upload something, their systems scan it. If they detect a registered trademark violation, then it automatically pulls down the content. It's not a person making a judgment or anything like that. It's software, and software is responding to trademarks. So Swift isn't really trying to win anything in court here. She's just building a digital tripwire. Every time someone uploads an AI clone of her, it triggers an automated takedown. In essence, she took her own identity and turned it into a mechanism that forces the internet's gatekeepers, this software, to police AI for her. And that's just brilliant. 3, use the platform's own systems against them. A contract clause, a face trademark, a registered sound clip. 3 different strategies from 3 of the most famous people in the world, all to solve the same issue. This shows the law isn't ready for AI. And artists aren't waiting for permission to protect themselves. They're hacking the legal system to survive. But here's the question that should keep you up at night. If billionaires and Hollywood A-listers are having to turn their bodies and their voices into corporate trademarks to protect themselves and own their identity, what does that mean for the rest of us? Keanu can afford a legal team to write these contract clauses. Clarkson can afford to put as many trademarks out there as he wants. Same with Taylor Swift. Most of us don't have that luxury. The fight isn't about stopping technology. Technology doesn't stop. The fight is about figuring out who owns you, your face, your voice, your creative choices. Who owns that? Who owns that in a world where copying them costs nothing? Right now, the answer is nobody really knows. If this has sparked something in you, a question, a disagreement, a thought, please drop it in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. If you enjoyed what you heard today, leave a heart, and maybe go and subscribe. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, share it with them. Make sure that you're following us on all of our socials. They're all down in the description. We'll be off next week, but then we're back to our regular schedule and our regular hosts. We'll see you next time.